She was just walking home from her late-night shift when she saw him, a little boy, shivering uncontrollably in the freezing cold. Without thinking, she scooped him into her arms, feeling the weight of his tiny body and the panic in his eyes. But as she warmed him by the fire, she had no idea that this child was connected to a secret that could shake her entire world, a secret about his father, her sister's mysterious past, and a web of family betrayal that no one could have anticipated. One act of courage would pull her into a story of love, danger, and redemption, and the truth would leave her questioning everything she thought she knew. Before we dive into the gripping details of this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated for more thrilling stories. The wind howled down the narrow city street, carrying icy flakes that stung like tiny needles. Maya Thompson hugged her coat tighter, her breath forming clouds in the frigid air. She was on her way home from the late shift at the hospital when she spotted a small figure huddled against the brick wall of an alley. It was a little boy, no more than 5, shivering violently, tears frozen on his cheeks. Without a second thought, Maya knelt beside him. "Hey, sweetheart," she said gently. "You're going to be okay. Come with me." The boy hesitated, fear in his wide eyes. But when he saw the warmth in her smile and the sincerity in her voice, he allowed her to lift him into her arms. His small body trembled against her chest as she carried him through the snow to her car. Inside, she wrapped him in a thick blanket and handed him a warm bottle of milk. "I'm Maya," she said softly. "What's your name?" "Ethan," he whispered, his voice barely audible. Maya's heart tightened. She called the number on the boy's jacket, but there was no answer. She couldn't leave him alone, not in this cold. So she stayed with him through the night, reading stories, drying his tears, and praying that someone would come for him. The next morning, after notifying the authorities, a man arrived at Maya's door. His face was a mixture of relief and disbelief. You found him?" he stammered, eyes fixed on Ethan. "Yes," Maya said, her voice calm but firm. "He was outside. Freezing. I couldn't just leave him there." The man's jaw tightened, and Maya noticed a flicker of recognition in his eyes, not of her, but of the kindness she had shown his child. I don't know how to thank you," he said finally, his voice trembling. "He's my son, my little boy, and I wasn't there. I should have been." Maya blinked, a strange knot forming in her stomach. There was something familiar in him, a pull she couldn't explain. Something in his eyes made her heart skip. "I'm just glad he's safe," she said softly, handing Ethan to him. The man bent down, embracing his son. Tears streaked his face. I don't even know how to explain this," he whispered. Maya smiled, trying to hide the sudden shock. Her mind raced with a terrifying, impossible thought: could this man be connected to her past in a way she never imagined? She turned away to give them a moment, but as she closed the door behind her, she couldn't shake the feeling that this encounter was only the beginning. And deep down, she feared the truth might change everything. Maya stared at the man's face one last time through the frosted window, her heart hammering. Something in his eyes seemed hauntingly familiar, an echo from a past she thought she had buried. And then, in a whisper barely audible over the wind, Ethan muttered, "Mommy, is he my daddy?" Maya froze. Maya's breath caught in her throat. "Mommy, is he my daddy?" The words echoed in her mind long after Ethan and the man disappeared into the snowy street. She pressed a hand to her chest, her heartbeat thundering like footsteps down a long hallway she had spent years avoiding. "That's impossible," she whispered to herself. "It can't be him. It just can't. For the rest of the day at the hospital, she tried to lose herself in charts, patience, and routine. But her mind kept drifting back to the man's eyes, soft brown with a golden ring around the iris. A rare pattern. One she had seen only once before. No, she told herself. That chapter closed years ago. But fate had a strange sense of timing. That evening, as she walked through her front door, she found someone standing on her porch, his silhouette outlined by the weak glow of the street lamp. It was him, the man from earlier. He removed his gloves nervously. I'm sorry to show up like this. I just needed to talk. Maya hesitated but stepped aside. Come in. He entered slowly, as if crossing an invisible line. I didn't get your name earlier, she said. He swallowed hard. It's Marcus. The name slammed into her like a wave. Marcus. The Marcus who had been her closest friend in college. The Marcus who had promised to keep in touch. The Marcus who had vanished after one night that changed everything. Her knees felt weak. He looked around the room, trying to find the right words. I recognized you. The moment you opened the door. I knew. Maya blinked rapidly. Then why didn't you say anything? Because I didn't know if I had the right to. His voice cracked. And because I didn't know if you hated me. Maya's chest tightened with emotions she thought she had buried years ago, hurt, confusion, anger, longing, and something she didn't want to name. I didn't hate you, she whispered. But you disappeared. Marcus closed his eyes. I know. And I've regretted it every single day. But there's something else, something I need to tell you. Something about Ethan. Her pulse spiked. What about him? Marcus took a step closer. Ethan, he's not just my son. Maya's breath hitched. He reached into his pocket with trembling fingers and pulled out a piece of folded paper, worn, creased, and clearly handled too many times. He placed it on the table. Maya, you need to see this. Hands shaking, she unfolded it. It wasn't a document. It was a photo. A newborn baby. A hospital wristband. And written faintly on the back, in a handwriting she recognized instantly. If anything ever happens to me, please find Maya Thompson. She's the only family he deserves. Maya staggered back, gripping the table. Marcus, she whispered, voice breaking. Whose handwriting is this? Who wrote this? Marcus lifted his eyes to hers, filled with heartbreak and fear. My wife, he said. Before she died. Maya's vision blurred. And the baby in the picture, she whispered, is Ethan? Marcus shook his head slowly. No, he said, voice trembling. The baby in the picture is the child we lost. Maya's heart dropped. We, she whispered, barely breathing. Marcus, what are you saying? Marcus looked up, eyes shining with tears. I'm saying that before everything fell apart, before I disappeared, that baby was ours. The room spun. And then Marcus whispered. And Maya. I don't think the story ended the way we were told. Maya felt the floor tilt beneath her feet. She grabbed the back of a chair to steady herself as Marcus's words echoed in her mind. The child we lost was ours. She shook her head slowly. Marcus, that baby, our baby, died. I remember the call. I remember the doctor. I remember. Marcus held up a trembling hand. I thought so too. I believed it. For years. But after my wife passed. His voice cracked, and the silence that followed felt heavy with pain. I found something. Something she hid from me. Maya's heartbeat thudded in her ears. What do you mean? He carefully unfolded another piece of paper from his coat, this one thicker, official-looking, but aged around the edges. Maya stared as he slid it toward her across the small kitchen table. Her fingers hovered over it, afraid to touch. It's a transfer record, Marcus said quietly. From the neonatal unit. My wife, she switched the tags. Maya blinked, confused. Switched the tags? He nodded, tears forming. She lost our baby during the birth, Maya. She couldn't accept it. She couldn't face telling me. So his voice broke. She took another newborn, one abandoned that night, and claimed him as ours. Maya's hand flew to her mouth. Ethan, she whispered. Marcus nodded painfully. She raised him like our own. I didn't know. I had no idea. Not until she left me that message before she passed. Maya felt her throat tighten. So much grief. So much deception. So much love twisted into desperation. She wanted me to find you, Marcus said. Because she knew the truth would destroy me, unless someone who understood my past helped guide me through it. Maya stared at the table, her mind spinning. So Ethan is not your biological son, she whispered. No, Marcus said softly. But he is my son. In every way that matters. And I will love him until my last breath. Maya's chest ached. She could see the sincerity in his eyes, he truly adored the little boy. But Maya, Marcus wiped a tear from his cheek. There's something else. Something bigger. She looked up slowly. What? Marcus took a shaky breath. That baby abandoned at the hospital, the one my wife took, he hesitated. There's a name attached to the original record. A birth name. Maya swallowed. Whose name? He pushed the document fully toward her with trembling hands. Maya. I think Ethan might be connected to you. She froze. To me? Marcus nodded. Look at the name listed for the baby's mother. Maya's fingers shook violently as she unfolded the aged paper. Her eyes scanned the writing. And then she saw it. Her knees nearly buckled. The name listed wasn't hers. But it was someone she knew all too well, someone whose disappearance had shattered her family years ago. Her sister. Camille Thompson, mother. Maya's breath left her body in a rush. No, she whispered. This isn't, Camille. Camille died before she ever had a child. Marcus stepped forward gently. Maya, what if she didn't? The room tilted. Memories flooded her mind, Camille sneaking out late at night, sudden doctor visits, unexplained absences months before her death. No, Maya said again, shaking her head, tears spilling. She didn't tell me. She would have told me. Maybe she tried, Marcus said softly. Maybe someone didn't let her. Maya's breath caught. Someone didn't let her? A chill crawled up her spine. Marcus watched her carefully. There's one more thing. She looked at him, numb. What more could there possibly be? Marcus swallowed hard, then pointed at the bottom of the document. Look at the father's name. Maya's eyes dropped to the final line. Her vision blurred. Her heart stopped. Her mouth fell open in a silent gasp. Because the father listed was someone Maya never expected. Someone whose betrayal had torn her family apart. Someone she hoped never to see again. And he was still alive. Before she could speak, a loud, sharp knock sounded at her front door, violent enough to rattle the glass. Maya and Marcus exchanged terrified looks. The knock came again. Harder. And then a voice, deep, commanding, unmistakable, growled through the door. Maya, open up. We need to talk. Now. Maya's blood turned to ice. She knew that voice. Maya's heart slammed against her ribs. That voice. Deep. Cold. A voice she never thought she'd hear again. Marcus stepped protectively in front of her. Who is that? But she couldn't speak. Her throat had closed. Her hands trembled violently. Another thunderous knock shook the door. Maya, the voice barked. I know you're in there. Open this door. She swallowed hard, her voice barely a whisper. It's my father. Marcus's eyes widened. Your father? But I thought. He left, she said shakily. Years ago. After Camille died. After everything fell apart. And now he was back. Why? Marcus touched her shoulder gently. Do you want me to open it? Maya shook her head quickly. No. He can't see you. Not yet. He can't know about Ethan. Knock. 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 The doorframe groaned under the force. Maya, don't make me say it again, her father growled. Open the door. Her breath quivered. She took a step toward the entryway, every movement heavy as stone. When she cracked the door open, a gust of icy wind rushed in, carrying snowflakes and the scent of old cigarette smoke. There he stood. Her father. Samuel Thompson. Older than she remembered. More worn. Lines etched deep across his face. Eyes dark with something she couldn't read, guilt, anger, desperation, or all three. Maya. His voice softened just slightly. We need to talk. She held the door tightly, not letting him in. Why are you here? He glanced past her shoulder, as if searching the house. We can't do this on a doorstep, he muttered. Let me in. No. He blinked. Surprised. Maybe even hurt. Maya, please. He cleared his throat. This is about Camille. Her stomach dropped. What about her? His expression tightened. There's something you never knew. Something I kept from you for your own good. Behind her, Marcus listened silently from the hallway, hidden from view. Maya's voice trembled. Dad, did Camille have a baby? Her father froze. Completely. The reaction told her everything. His jaw clenched. His hands balled into fists. And for the first time in her life, Maya saw fear in her father's eyes. Who told you that? He whispered harshly. Maya felt her pulse spike. So it's true? No, he snapped quickly. It's not that simple. Then explain. But instead of answering, Samuel leaned in, lowering his voice to a dangerous whisper. Who else is in this house? Maya swallowed. No one. His eyes narrowed. Don't lie to me. Her back stiffened, old childhood wounds reopening in a single breath. You don't get to control me anymore. For a moment, the winter storm outside seemed quieter than the silence between them. Finally, Samuel exhaled shakily. Maya, that baby. He stopped, voice cracking. I tried to protect you, he said. I tried to protect all of us. But now it's too late. They're coming. And they won't stop. Maya felt the color drain from her face. Who's coming? He looked over his shoulder into the snowy street before whispering. The people who took Camille's child. A sharp gasp escaped Maya. But her father wasn't done. He stepped closer, gripping her shoulders. And whoever you've talked to, whoever told you anything, you need to cut ties. Tonight. Before they find out. Maya's voice trembled. Why? What would they do? Samuel swallowed hard. They'll take Ethan. Her heart stopped. Ethan, she whispered. How do you know about Ethan? Her father's eyes widened in sudden panic. He hadn't meant to reveal that. Maya, he breathed. Where is the boy? Behind her, Marcus tensed like a drawn bowstring. Samuel's voice hardened, fear twisting into anger. Maya. Listen to me carefully. They're already watching. And if they find that boy here. Suddenly, headlights flared through the front window. A black SUV crawled to a stop in front of her house. Engine rumbling. Windows tinted pitch black. Maya's pulse turned to ice. Samuel grabbed her arm. It's them, he whispered, trembling. Maya, whatever you do, don't let them inside. The SUV door opened. A tall figure stepped out into the snow. And then. A second. And a third. All wearing dark coats. All walking toward the house. Marcus whispered urgently from behind her. Maya, they know. The three figures approached the house with slow, deliberate steps, their boots crunching through the snow in eerie unison. The street was too quiet, as if the whole world was holding its breath. Maya's father tightened his grip on her arm. Get away from the windows, he whispered urgently. Now. Marcus stepped into view, finally revealing himself. Samuel's eyes widened at the sight of him. You, Samuel breathed. Of course it's you. Not now, Marcus said sharply. We need to move. Where's Ethan? Maya's heart froze. He's asleep in the guest room. A sudden bang on the front door made her jump. Samuel Thompson, a voice called calmly through the wood. We know you're in there. We'd like a word. Another bang, this one heavier, like a warning. Samuel paled. They found me. Which means they've found the boy. Maya stepped forward, trembling with fury. Dad, what do they want with Ethan? Why would anyone want my sister's child? Samuel ran a shaking hand over his face. Because Camille's baby wasn't just abandoned. He was stolen. And not for the reasons you think. Marcus stiffened. What reasons then? Samuel hesitated. Because Camille uncovered something dangerous. She got involved with the wrong people, and when she tried to leave. He stopped, his eyes watering from a truth too heavy to say out loud. They threatened her child, he finally whispered. Maya felt the floor tilt beneath her feet. And you didn't do anything to protect her? His voice broke. I tried. But Camille made me promise to protect you if anything happened to her. She said keeping you safe meant keeping Ethan hidden. Another thunderous bang vibrated through the house. Maya Thompson, the voice outside called. Open the door. We don't want to hurt anyone. Marcus's jaw clenched. They're lying. Samuel nodded grimly. If they take Ethan, they'll erase every trace of who he is. They've done it before. Maya's vision blurred. So Camille didn't die in that accident. Her father swallowed hard. Maya, that wasn't an accident. She sobbed silently, trembling from head to toe. Dad, why didn't you tell me? I could have helped. You were a child, he whispered. I couldn't risk them coming after you too. Another knock echoed, this time softer. Almost polite. As if they were giving her one last chance. Maya, Marcus said quietly, stepping close. We have to get Ethan out of here. Through the back. Yes, Samuel agreed. I'll distract them. You take the boy. Maya stared at her father, broken, guilt-covered, flawed, but trying. Trying to make up for years of silence. Dad, she whispered, voice trembling. Why are you helping now? His chin shook. Because Camille's last words to me were, promise me you'll protect Maya. And if she ever finds him, protect the child too. Tears spilled down her cheeks. Samuel squeezed her hand. Go. I'll buy you time. But just as Maya turned to run, the front door exploded inward, the lock snapping clean off. Cold air burst inside. The three figures stepped through the doorway, shadows against the snow. Maya screamed. Marcus grabbed her arm. Samuel stepped in front of them. And the tallest figure lifted both hands in a calm, unhurried gesture. Please, he said in a surprisingly gentle voice. Nobody move. We're not here to take the boy. Maya froze mid-step. What? She breathed. The man removed his hood. He wasn't angry. He wasn't armed. He wasn't even intimidating. He looked sad. We're here, he said softly, because Camille told us to find you. Maya stared, stunned. That's impossible. Camille died. Yes, the man said quiet. Ly. But she didn't die before leaving us a message. Marcus and Samuel exchanged a horrified look. What message? Maya whispered. The man's eyes softened with sympathy. She told us that if anything happened to her, if the truth ever resurfaced, we were to bring this directly to you. He reached into his coat. Maya tensed, but he pulled out a small envelope. Old. Yellowed. With her name written in Camille's handwriting. Her breath left her body. The man stepped forward and placed it gently into her shaking hands. Camille wrote this 5 days before she died, he said. And she wanted you to read it only when the time was right. Maya's heart pounded as she stared at her sister's name on the envelope. Marcus whispered, Maya, open it. But before she could tear the seal, a baby's cry echoed faintly from the back bedroom. Ethan. All three men turned sharply toward the sound. And the man who delivered the letter whispered something that made Maya's blood run cold. That's not just Camille's child. He looked at her with deep, unsettling certainty. That boy is the reason she died. Ethan's cry pierced through the tense silence, echoing down the hallway like a plea for help from a past that refused to stay buried. Maya clutched the envelope against her chest. Her sister's handwriting trembled beneath her fingertips. Samuel stepped protectively closer to her. Marcus moved toward the hallway, poised to run to Ethan. The three strangers stood still, hands visible, no threats, just grave, heavy urgency. Maya's voice shook. "What do you mean he's the reason she died?" The leader of the three men lowered his gaze. "Because Camille discovered something she wasn't supposed to. Something involving the hospital, the records, and the identity of her child." Maya's breath hitched. "What identity?" The man hesitated. "You won't believe it unless you hear it from her." He motioned toward the envelope. Maya's hands shook violently as she slid her thumb under the flap. Inside was a single folded sheet of paper, fragile with age. Marcus stepped beside her. "Do you want me to?" "No," her voice was soft but firm. "I need to read it." She unfolded the letter. Her sister's handwriting, swirly, artistic, familiar, leapt off the page. Maya swallowed hard and began reading aloud. "My dearest Maya. If you're reading this, then something has happened to me. I'm so sorry. You always protected me, and now I need to protect you, even if it's from the truth. There is someone dangerous watching me. Someone who found out I'm pregnant. Someone who wants the baby. Please, Maya, don't trust Dad. He's hiding something big, something he thought would help, but only made things worse. I tried to run. I tried to hide. But they found me. And I'm afraid I won't make it. So listen to me carefully. If they ever bring you this letter, it means the child lived. It means the child has a purpose. And it means the child must never fall into the wrong hands. The people chasing me. It's not just about who the father is. It's about what the child is connected to, a truth that started long before I was born. Maya. If you ever find him, protect him with your life. And please, find the father and tell him the truth too. He deserves to know what they did to us. I love you more than anyone. I'm sorry I couldn't stay. Camille." Maya's knees almost buckled. Her sister's voice felt alive in the room, her presence hovering like a ghost made of warmth and grief. Marcus steadied her elbow. Samuel wiped at his eyes, turning away. But Maya noticed, there was more. A second page, small, tucked behind the first. Her breath snagged as she unfolded it. This one wasn't a letter. It was a birth record. A name scratched out. A different name handwritten beneath. "Wait," Maya whispered. "This isn't Ethan's file, this is someone else's." The man who brought the envelope stepped forward. "That," he said gently, "is the real birth record. The one they tried to destroy." Maya read the handwritten name at the bottom. Her heart stopped. "Father, Marcus Reed." Maya looked up in shock. Marcus staggered back, eyes wide. That's impossible," he whispered. Camille and I, we were never." Samuel closed his eyes tightly, pain written across his face. "She lied to you, Maya," the stranger said gently. "Or rather, she hid the truth to keep everyone safe." "No," Maya said softly, tears falling. "Camille wouldn't." The stranger raised a hand. "That's not all." He reached into his coat again. This time he pulled out a small spiral notebook, worn and weathered, with a cracked purple cover. Camille's diary. Maya gasped. Before she died, the man said softly, Camille wrote down everything. Every secret. Every name. Everything she uncovered. Marcus inhaled sharply. Who else is involved? The man hesitated. There's a list inside the diary, he said. A list of people who were part of the cover-up. Some wanted the child. Some wanted the truth buried. And some, his voice darkened. Some wanted both sisters silenced. Maya felt like the room was closing in around her. She clutched the diary, heart pounding, tears streaming. I want to know, she whispered fiercely. I want to know who did this to her. The man nodded slowly. You will. Another tiny cry sounded from the back room, louder this time. All attention pivoted to the hallway. Marcus stepped forward. I'll get him. But Samuel blocked him. No. Let me. He knows my voice. He hurried toward Ethan's room. Then suddenly, a chilling silence. A silence so complete it made Maya's blood run cold. Dad, she called, voice cracking. No reply. Marcus and the man exchanged a tense, startled look. And then, a door creaked. A soft gasp echoed. And Samuel's strangled voice cried out from down the hall. Maya, get back. A crash sounded. Ethan screamed, sharp, terrified. Maya dropped the diary and ran. She reached the hallway just in time to see a fourth figure. Someone who had slipped into the house unnoticed. Someone standing over Samuel with a weapon raised. And in the intruder's arms. Ethan. Maya screamed his name. The intruder turned slowly, lifting their hood. And Maya froze, horror ripping through her. Because she knew that face. She had known it her entire life. Her voice broke into a whisper of disbelief. Mom? Maya's world seemed to tilt sideways. The hood. The face. The eyes she hadn't seen since she was 15. Her mother. Alive. Holding Ethan. And Mom? Maya repeated, her voice cracking like glass. The woman stepped fully into the hallway light, Ethan trembling in her arms, his little fists curled into her coat. Her mother looked, older, thinner, haunted. Gray streaked her once black curls. Her eyes were sharp but pained, like someone who had run from shadows for years and finally got tired of running. Hello, Maya, she said quietly. Not cold. Not warm. Just, tired. Marcus rushed up behind Maya but froze when he saw who stood there. Samuel struggled to get up from the floor, clutching his ribs. Ruth, he choked out, put the boy down. Ruth. Her mother's name. A name Maya hadn't spoken aloud in more than a decade. Ruth shook her head. No. I can't let you take him. Maya stepped forward, tears blurring her vision. Mom, you're supposed to be dead. Her mother's eyes softened with grief. I know. Where have you been? Maya whispered. Ruth swallowed hard. Hiding. Surviving. Protecting what's left of this family. Her voice trembled on the last word. Ethan whimpered and buried his face in her shoulder. Ruth soothed him instantly, a natural gesture, like she'd done it 1,000 times before. Maya's heart twisted painfully. Why are you taking him? She pleaded. He's my sister's child. He's all I have left of Camille. Ruth's expression changed, a flash of sorrow mixed with fierce determination. That boy, she said quietly, is the only chance we have left to stop what's coming. Marcus stepped forward, fists clenched. Let him go. Whatever's going on, we can handle this together. Ruth met his gaze. You don't understand, Marcus. None of you do. She looked between them, her estranged family, broken and confused. You all think Camille died because she uncovered names, or corruption, or lies. She swallowed. But that was only the surface. Maya's voice shook. Then tell us the truth. Ruth hesitated, glancing toward the three men near the front door. You brought them here, she demanded sharply. They came to warn us, Marcus said. Ruth's face tensed. Well, they failed. They weren't supposed to come yet. Maya stepped closer, hands trembling as she reached toward Ethan. Mom, please. Just give him to me. Ruth pulled back, clutching the little boy protectively. I can't. If they find out what he is. What he is? Maya cried. He's a child. Ruth's face crumpled, the weight of years collapsing in her expression. Maya, she whispered, he's more than that. That's why they stole him. That's why they lied. Why they chased Camille. It's why I had to disappear. Maya shook her head, tears streaming. More than that how? Ruth stepped closer, so close their faces were only inches apart. Because Ethan, she whispered, her voice breaking, isn't just Camille's son. She looked at Samuel, her husband, with pure devastation. He's ours, Samuel. Samuel fell backwards against the wall, stunned. Marcus stared in confusion. Maya went numb. What? Maya whispered. Mom, what are you saying? Ruth's eyes filled with tears. Camille never carried a baby to term, she said softly. She miscarried at 7 months. I helped her hide it. She was broken, ashamed, terrified of disappointing you. Maya shook her head. No. No, she gave birth. There were records. Forged, Ruth cut in. All forged. The plan was to protect Camille's reputation. To protect the family. The hallway spun. Maya felt Marcus grab her arm so she wouldn't fall. Ruth continued, voice trembling. I was the one who gave birth in secret. I was the one they were after. And Camille, she took the blame for me. She took the danger with her when she ran. Maya stared, breath gone. Ethan whimpered again. Ruth held him tighter. Maya. Ethan is your brother, she whispered. Not your nephew. Maya felt her entire world collapse. But Ruth wasn't finished. And the people coming for him, her voice grew low. They know what he carries. Maya blinked through tears. What does that even mean? Ruth's expression hardened with fear. It means, she whispered, that the truth about his father can destroy everything. Maya's stomach dropped. She stared at her mother. Then who is his father? Ruth closed her eyes, trembling. When she opened them, they flicked to someone standing behind Maya. Someone Maya never would have suspected. And before Ruth could answer, a gunshot shattered the window. Glass exploded. Ethan screamed. The lights went out. And in the darkness, a voice hissed. You should have told them the truth sooner. The house plunged into darkness. Glass crunched under footsteps. Cold wind roared through the shattered window. Somewhere in the pitch blackness, Ethan cried, desperate, frightened. "Maya!" Marcus shouted. "I'm here," she answered, reaching blindly toward the sound of his voice. Another voice, low, sharp, unrecognizable, echoed through the darkness. "Step away from the boy. Now." Maya's heart hammered. She could sense more than one presence in the room. Shadows shifting. Bodies moving. Someone had slipped in through the broken window. Ruth held Ethan tightly, whispering to him, rocking his tiny body. "It's okay, baby. Mommy's here. Mommy's here." But her voice trembled. Samuel groaned from somewhere on the floor, trying to sit up. Marcus whispered urgently to Maya, "We need light." One of the strangers who had arrived earlier, the tall one, flicked on a small emergency flashlight. The narrow beam cut through the darkness like a blade and landed on a masked intruder, standing only a few feet away. Gloved hands raised. Not pointing a gun, but a small black device that blinked red. Marcus stepped in front of Maya on instinct. The masked figure's voice came low and controlled. "You're all involved now. That wasn't my choice." Ruth pulled Ethan close as the beam of light swung toward her. "Don't take him," she pleaded. "Please. He's just a baby." The intruders shook their head. "No. He's not just a baby. And you know that, Ruth." Maya felt the air leave her lungs. "You know my mother," she whispered. The intruder didn't answer directly. Instead, they turned slowly toward Maya, the flashlight catching the faint outline of their jaw beneath the mask. "Maya," they said. "You deserve the truth before this goes any further." Marcus clenched his fists. "Then say it." Everyone held their breath. The intruder stepped closer, staying just outside the reach of the flashlight's beam. "Ethan is important because of who he comes from," they said. Ruth looked away, tears spilling. Samuel stared in shame. Marcus's entire body went tense. Maya whispered, "Just tell me. Who is his father?" The intruder lifted their hand and pointed, not at Samuel, not at Marcus, but toward the front door. Everyone turned. A man stood there, silhouetted against the swirling snow. Tall. Broad-shouldered. His coat dusted with frost. His breath visible in the winter air. Maya's heart lurched painfully. She knew that figure. That stance. That presence she never quite forgot, though she tried. He stepped into the light. And Maya staggered backward. It was Jordan Hayes. Her first love. The man who broke her heart 12 years ago. The man she thought she'd never see again. The man who had vanished right before her mother supposedly died. "Maya," he said softly. Her mouth moved but no sound came out. He looked at Ethan, then at Ruth, and guilt swept across his face like a storm cloud. "It's time," he whispered. "They deserve to know everything." The masked intruder spoke again, voice tight. "Jordan, this is your last chance. Tell them the truth, or I will." Jordan took a slow breath. The room pulsed with silence. Ruth squeezed her eyes shut. Samuel looked away, jaw trembling. Marcus frowned, confused and tense. And Maya, shaking, breathless, terrified, whispered. "Jordan, is Ethan your child?" Jordan stepped closer, eyes shining. "Maya," he breathed. "I'm not just his father." He swallowed hard. "I'm the reason Camille died." The room went cold. Ethan whimpered in Ruth's arms. Maya felt herself collapse to her knees, the world spinning around her. Before she could speak, Jordan continued, voice breaking. "And if we don't leave this house right now, he'll be next." The room was silent except for Ethan's soft whimpers and the hum of the broken window letting in the cold wind. Maya stared at Jordan, the man who had once held her heart, now standing in her living room with a weight heavier than anything she had ever known. You caused Camille's death," Maya whispered, trembling. "How? Why?" Jordan ran a hand through his hair, eyes haunted. "It wasn't supposed to happen like that. I was trying to protect her, protect all of you." Ruth gripped Ethan tightly. "Protect her? You abandoned her. You left her to die." "I didn't leave," Jordan said quickly, voice cracking. "I was forced away. Threatened. The people chasing her, the ones who want Ethan, they would have killed us all if I had stayed. Camille knew it. She told me to disappear, to keep everyone safe. I thought I could outrun them. I thought I could make it right later. But by the time I tried to come back," his voice broke. "It was too late." Maya's chest ached. The flood of betrayal, grief, and anger was nearly unbearable. The masked intruder stepped forward, flashlight now lowered. "Enough talk. Words won't save him. Only action will." Maya's eyes narrowed. "What do you want from us?" The intruder's voice was low, deadly calm. "Ethan. We need him. He carries something no one else does. And if he's not handed over willingly, we will take him." Ruth's eyes went wide. You mean my grandson?" "No," the intruder corrected sharply. "He's more than that. He's the key to everything your family has been protecting for decades." Samuel finally spoke, voice trembling but determined. "If you try to take him, we will fight." The intruder laughed softly. "Do you think you can stop what's already in motion?" Maya felt a surge of courage. "Then we'll do whatever it takes to protect him." Jordan stepped closer, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Maya, listen. We need to move. Now. There's a safe place, I prepared it years ago, in case this day came. But it won't hold them forever." Maya nodded, determination hardening in her chest. "Then let's go. Ethan stays with us." Ruth, finally uncurling her arms from around Ethan, handed him to Maya. The little boy's tiny fingers clutched hers, trusting, innocent, unaware of the storm around him. The intruder stepped closer, blocking the hallway. "You'll never leave. Not alive." Marcus stepped forward, fists raised, ready to protect Maya and the child. "Try us." The intruder tilted their head, voice almost amused. "Bold. But naive. You don't even know the power this child holds." Jordan whispered urgently, "Go. Take him through the back." Maya grabbed Ethan, running toward the hallway. Ruth and Marcus flanked them. Samuel limped as fast as he could behind. But just as they reached the back door, a shadow moved across the snow outside. A car engine roared. Another figure emerged from the darkness. The intruder's voice sliced through the air. "Stop. Don't move. Or the boy dies." Maya froze, heart hammering. And then she realized, it wasn't the intruder speaking this time. It was someone else. Someone waiting in the night, someone who knew everything about Camille, Ethan, and the secrets of the Thompson family. A figure tall, cloaked in black, stepped fully into the dim light of the backyard. Maya's stomach dropped. Because she knew that figure. And before she could scream, the figure spoke. "So, Maya, you found him. Just as she said you would." The figure in the backyard stepped closer, snow crunching softly beneath their boots. The dim glow of the broken window illuminated a sharp jawline and a pair of eyes that made Maya's blood run cold. "You," Maya whispered, clutching Ethan tightly to her chest. "You're—" "Camille told me to wait," the figure interrupted, voice calm, controlled, almost eerily familiar. "She knew you'd come for him." Ruth gasped. "How do you know Camille?" The figure pulled back their hood. Snowflakes danced on the strands of silver-streaked black hair. The face was one Maya would never forget, haunting, familiar, and commanding respect she didn't know she still had for anyone. "Maya Thompson," the figure said, eyes locking onto hers. "You don't know me yet, but I've been watching over this family longer than you realize. And now, it's time the truth comes out." Maya swallowed hard, shaking. "Why? Why are you here now?" The figure's lips curved into the faintest hint of a smile. "Because the child carries what Camille couldn't protect alone. He carries the proof, of what was stolen, of what was hidden, and of who was behind it all." Jordan stepped forward, tense. "Maya, this is what I've been trying to tell you. The people after Ethan, it's not just greed. It's legacy. It's power." Marcus glanced between the figure and the intruder still at the front door. "Then why haven't you done anything? Why wait all these years?" The figure's eyes glinted with a mixture of sorrow and determination. "Because the timing had to be perfect. Camille entrusted Maya to save him, and only Maya could do it." Maya's heart pounded. "So, I'm supposed to protect him? Against them?" "Yes," the figure said softly, stepping closer. "And against the man who should have been protecting you all along." Maya froze. "Who?" The figure tilted their head. "Your father, Samuel Thompson. He's not who you think he is. The truth about Camille's disappearance, about Ethan, about the forged records, it all leads back to him." Ruth gasped, clutching her own chest. "No. Samuel would never." Samuel took a step forward, trembling. "I did it to protect you, to protect everyone. I thought I could handle them, I thought I could control it," his voice faltered. "I was wrong. Everything went wrong." The masked intruder at the front door hissed, anger flashing in their voice. "Enough talking. Hand over the child, now." Maya tightened her grip on Ethan, eyes blazing. "Never." The shadowed figure took a step forward. "You have to move, Maya. Take Ethan, now. If you stay here, they will take him, and they will destroy what Camille tried to protect." Maya glanced at Ruth, Jordan, and Marcus, all nodding, all ready to fight or flee. She took a deep breath. "Ethan, we're going to be okay. I promise." Ethan looked up at her, tiny hand reaching for her face, trusting, innocent. Then the shadowed figure whispered. "But you need to know something first, something Camille didn't live to tell you. Ethan is not just your brother, he is the key to finding Camille herself." Maya froze. "What?" What do you mean? The figure's voice dropped to a solemn whisper. She's alive. Maya's breath caught. Ethan whimpered. Ruth gasped. Jordan staggered back. The intruder at the front door froze, then slowly backed away, realizing the power of the words. The shadowed figure continued, eyes dark and unwavering. And if we don't leave tonight, if Ethan is taken, we will never find her. Camille's life, and Ethan's future, depends on you. Maya's mind spun. Her heart raced. Her hands shook around Ethan. She had no idea how they would escape. No idea how to confront the truth about Samuel. No idea how to find Camille. But one thing she knew for certain. She would do whatever it took to protect her brother, and finally uncover the truth about her sister. And just as she took a step toward the back door, headlights flared again, illuminating the snowy street. A convoy of black SUVs screeched to a stop. Figures poured out, moving with lethal precision. The shadowed figure whispered urgently. Maya, hold him tight. This is only the beginning. The snow swirled around them. Ethan's tiny hands gripped hers. And the Thompson family's fight for truth, and for survival, had only just begun. Snow whipped around the house, stinging faces and cutting through clothes, but inside, tension was thicker than any winter wind. Maya clutched Ethan close, his little body trembling in her arms. Ruth stayed by her side, Jordan and Marcus flanking them, while Samuel leaned against the wall, guilt and fear etched across his face. The shadowed figure lingered just behind, calm but alert. Outside, the black SUVs had stopped. Dozens of figures now surrounded the house, moving like shadows across the snow. Some climbed the porch, others circled the perimeter, all silent, all deadly. The masked intruder from before hissed from the front doorway, backing away. You can't escape. The boy belongs to us. Maya's eyes blazed. He's not yours. Ethan is my family. He's mine to protect. The shadowed figure stepped forward. Then we move, now. Through the back, and fast. Don't look back. Jordan grabbed a nearby coat, wrapping Ethan securely. Hold him tight, Maya. No one leaves him behind. Marcus nodded. I'll cover the rear. Samuel hesitated, then met Maya's eyes. I have to help. I failed Camille once. I won't fail again. Ruth's voice shook. Be careful. Don't let them take him. Maya, whatever happens, remember, we survive together. Maya swallowed and nodded. Her heart pounded. This was it. No more waiting. No more hiding. The first figure lunged toward the back door. Go, the shadowed figure shouted. Maya bolted, Jordan close behind. Ethan's cries were muffled against her chest. Snow blasted their faces as they ran toward the woods behind the house. Marcus and Samuel held the intruders at bay, their voices yelling, threats and defiance echoing through the night. Suddenly, from the darkness, another figure appeared, taller, more imposing, moving faster than the rest. The shadowed figure hissed, "That's them, the one Camille feared most. You won't make it far unless you leave him behind." Maya froze, panic rising like a storm. No. I can't. I won't. Jordan tightened his grip on Ethan. Then we do this together. They darted into the trees, snow crunching underfoot, branches clawing at their clothes and faces. Behind them, shouts erupted, and the faint sound of engines starting, the SUVs moving in formation, closing the distance. Maya glanced over her shoulder. The masked intruder and the tall figure moved like shadows, determined, relentless. Her chest heaved. Ethan whimpered. Then she realized, the shadowed figure had vanished. "Where did they go?" she whispered, fear tightening her throat. Jordan shook his head. "They're ahead. Watching. Waiting." Camille knew they'd be here. "She left instructions for us, somewhere we'll find them." Maya's stomach twisted. "You mean, she knew we'd need to run from them this night?" Jordan nodded grimly. "And that's only the beginning. Once we reach the safe place, the real battle starts. The secrets Camille hid, the people who want to silence us, they're all waiting. And they know Ethan is the key." Maya's hands trembled around her brother. She pressed a kiss to his forehead. "I won't let them have you, Ethan. I swear I won't." The trees loomed darkly around them. Snow whipped against their faces. Every step forward was met with the haunting certainty that someone dangerous, was always ahead. And somewhere in the night, a voice whispered through the trees. "Run, Maya, but you can't hide forever." The siblings' journey, to survive, to uncover Camille's secrets, and to protect Ethan, had only just begun. The forest pressed around them like a living wall, snow crunching underfoot. Each step forward felt like a battle, the shadows seemed to follow them, moving just beyond sight. Maya's chest heaved. Ethan secure in her arms, his little face buried in her coat. Ruth stayed close, whispering softly to calm him. Jordan led the way, eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of pursuit. "Almost there," Jordan whispered. Camille made sure it was well hidden. "Just a little further." Marcus slowed, looking over his shoulder. "They're close. I can hear them. We need to move faster." Maya's stomach twisted with fear. "I can't lose him, Jordan. Not after everything." "I won't." "You won't," he said firmly, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Not while we're alive." A sudden sound froze them, a low growl, unnatural and close. The snow around them shifted. Shadows moved faster than the trees could hide them. "Keep moving," Marcus shouted, drawing his coat tighter around him. Then, just ahead, a faint light glowed through the trees, a small cabin, half buried in snow, smoke curling from the chimney. "The safe place," Jordan whispered. "Camille said it would protect us, at least for tonight." They reached the cabin, breathless. Maya swung the door open and hurried inside, Ethan in her arms. The warmth hit her like a wave, and for the first time since the night began, she felt a flicker of hope. Inside, the cabin was simple but cozy. A small fireplace glowed, blankets stacked neatly on a wooden table. The shadowed figure was already there, waiting by the fire. "You made it," they said softly. "Good. You're safe, for now." Maya lowered Ethan into a small makeshift crib. He whimpered but clutched her hand tightly. Ruth exhaled shakily. "I thought we'd never make it." Samuel, still pale and trembling, nodded. "We barely did. That was too close." The shadowed figure stepped closer to Maya. "Camille left more than just instructions. She left you a map, clues about why Ethan is so important. But you need to understand, you're being watched, even here." Maya's eyes narrowed. "Who's watching us? Who else knows?" The figure shook their head. Some of the people chasing you are still loyal to Camille's enemies. They've infiltrated places you would never suspect. Jordan stepped forward, voice tense. That's why she left the diary. It's not just the birth records, there are secrets there that explain everything. Who took Camille, why they did it, and why Ethan is the key to all of it. Maya swallowed hard. Where's the diary? We need to read it now. The shadowed figure held out a hand, revealing a small leather-bound notebook, Camille's diary, worn from years of hiding. As Maya reached for it, a distant sound froze her blood, a faint tapping, like boots crunching snow, moving closer. They found us, Samuel whispered, fear twisting his voice. Maya clutched the diary to her chest. Ethan whimpered again, sensing the tension. The shadowed figure turned to the group, voice low but urgent. Tonight, you will learn the truth. But beware, once it's revealed, nothing will be the same. Camille's enemies know the child's importance, and they will do everything to claim him. Maya's hands shook, but determination hardened in her chest. Then we learn. We protect Ethan. And we find Camille. The cabin door rattled violently. A shadow flickered outside the small window. A cold, commanding voice called out. Maya Thompson, the time has come. Hand over the boy, or the consequences will destroy you all. Maya clutched Ethan tighter. The diary pressed against her heart. And for the first time, she realized this was only the beginning of the fight. The cabin shook from the pounding on the door. Maya clutched Ethan tightly, his small hands reaching up to her neck. Snow swirled around the windows, and the cold wind howled like a warning. The shadowed figure moved to the fireplace, lighting another lantern. You need to read it now. Camille's diary contains the first clues. Every moment counts. Maya opened the worn leather notebook. The familiar scrawl of her sister's handwriting leapt off the page. She cleared her throat and began reading aloud. If you are reading this, it means I was not able to protect everyone. Ethan, my child, is not just a baby. He carries a truth that could undo everything the Thompsons have tried to hide for generations. Someone powerful wants him. Someone who will not stop until they have him in their control. Maya, my brave sister, you are the only one who can save him. Trust no one blindly, and remember, family isn't just blood. It's loyalty. Protect him, even if it means keeping secrets from the rest. There is a man, masked, who knows more than anyone else. Follow the clues I've left in this diary. They will lead you to the answers about his father, about why he survived, and about the enemies who want to destroy him. And finally, know this, if you find this diary before the night ends, it means time is running out. Keep moving. Do not stop for anyone, not even me. Maya's hands shook violently as she closed the page. He's carrying something. Why didn't she tell us sooner? The shadowed figure placed a steadying hand on her shoulder. Because she didn't want you to know until it was necessary. Now, it is necessary. Jordan stepped closer. Then we follow the diary. We find the clues. We protect Ethan at all costs. That's our only chance. Ruth, holding Ethan close, whispered, but the intruders, they're right outside. They know we're here. They won't wait. Suddenly, the cabin door slammed open, snow and wind blasting inside. The masked intruder from before stepped in, motionless and silent, a figure of menace in the dim light. Maya's heart raced. She raised the diary like a shield. You shouldn't have come here, the intruder said, voice low and controlled. Ethan belongs to us. Hand him over, and maybe we let the rest of you live. Maya tightened her grip. Never. He's my family. He's my responsibility. The intruder stepped closer. You don't understand. That child holds the key to power, to truth, and to revenge. If you defy me, you'll lose him forever. Ruth stepped forward, trembling but defiant. Try and take him, and you'll see what family really means. The intruder's gaze flicked to the shadows near the back of the cabin. The shadowed figure stepped forward, voice sharp, enough talk. You want him? Come and get him. The intruder paused, a flicker of uncertainty crossing their face. Outside, the snow deepened. The sound of another engine, this one heavier, closer, echoed through the trees. Maya's chest tightened. She clutched Ethan to her chest. Then the intruder hissed, stepping back toward the open doorway. This isn't over, Thompson family. By sunrise, you will regret defying us. The door slammed shut behind them. Silence fell. Maya sank to her knees, shaking, holding Ethan close. Jordan and Marcus flanked her. Samuel's face was pale with guilt and fear. Ruth whispered softly, rocking Ethan. The shadowed figure knelt beside Maya. This is your first victory, they said, voice calm. But the night is far from over. The diary will guide you, but every step will be more dangerous than the last. Maya swallowed hard, determination burning in her eyes. Then we follow it. We find the truth. And we save Camille, and Ethan, no matter what it takes. From outside, the faint crunch of boots in the snow echoed closer again. Maya clutched Ethan tighter, staring out the window into the storm. And then, through the howl of the wind, a chilling whisper carried to her ears. We know where you are now, Maya. You can't hide forever. The storm outside raged, the night stretched endlessly, and the fight to protect Ethan, and uncover Camille's secrets, had only just begun. The storm outside showed no mercy. Snow lashed against the cabin windows like icy fingers, rattling the walls. Inside, Maya held Ethan tightly, reading the next page of Camille's diary by the flickering lantern light. The first place to start is where the past and present collide, she read aloud. Where secrets were hidden in plain sight. Trust no one you meet there. Maya's hands shook. What does that mean? Where could that be? Jordan knelt beside her, scanning the diary. Camille left specific instructions. She always said, follow the paths they think are forgotten. There's a place she mentioned, an abandoned mill outside the old town. That's where the first clue is. Ruth frowned, still clutching Ethan. The old mill? That place has been deserted for years. Dangerous. Marcus straightened. Dangerous doesn't scare us. We've made it this far. We can handle more. The shadowed figure spoke softly, voice steady. Camille left traps, not physical ones, but people who would watch. Enemies. You must be careful. They'll know when you try to follow her trail. Maya held Ethan closer. Then we leave tonight. We have no choice. Outside, the snowstorm seemed to calm just enough for them to move. The group bundled up and made their way through the forest, following the faint outline of a hidden path Camille had described in the diary. Hours passed. The snow deepened. Every snap of a branch, every crunch of snow underfoot set nerves on edge. Finally, Through the trees, they saw it, the silhouette of the old mill, shadowed and looming. Jordan whispered, "There. That's where Camille wanted you to start." Maya's stomach twisted. What if they're already here? What if they've been waiting for us? The shadowed figure placed a steadying hand on her shoulder. "Then we proceed. Camille knew you would face them. She prepared this for a reason." As they approached, a faint light flickered through a broken window of the mill. Inside, shadows moved. Figures waiting. Watching. Marcus hissed under his breath, "Looks like we weren't the only ones who followed her trail." Maya's hands shook, but determination hardened in her chest. "Then we do what Camille wanted. We find the clue. We protect Ethan. No matter what." They stepped closer to the entrance, and suddenly, a voice rang out from the shadows inside. "So, Maya Thompson, you finally decided to come." The snowstorm howled louder. Ethan whimpered. And Maya realized that Camille's enemies had been one step ahead all along. The shadows shifted, and through the broken doorway, a figure emerged, tall, familiar, and terrifying. Maya froze. It was someone she thought she'd left behind long ago. Someone connected to the secrets that had destroyed her family. "You shouldn't have come here," the figure said. Maya gripped Ethan tightly, heart racing. The first confrontation had begun. The old mill loomed like a shadowed giant against the swirling snow. Inside, the faint flicker of lanterns illuminated walls covered in peeling paint and broken beams. Maya tightened her grip on Ethan, whose tiny fists clutched her coat. The figure stepping out of the shadows froze them all, tall, imposing, familiar. It was the masked intruder from before. And now, unmasked, the face behind it was revealed. Maya's eyes widened. It's you?" The intruder, Lucas, a former family friend and confidant of Camille, nodded slowly, eyes cold but not without a trace of sorrow. "I didn't want it to come to this," he said. "But you've forced my hand. Ethan is the key to everything Camille tried to protect." Jordan stepped forward, anger and desperation in his voice. "What do you mean, the key? He's just a baby." Lucas's gaze softened briefly on Ethan. "He's not just any baby. He carries the knowledge of Camille's discoveries, encoded in the journals, in records, in the places she left hidden. The people who wanted him, they wanted the truth buried. Ethan is the only way to reveal it safely." Ruth gasped. "You mean, all of this was about the diary? About Camille's secrets?" "Yes," Lucas said. "And I was trying to keep it safe. But I failed Camille once, and I swore I wouldn't fail again." Maya's hands shook. "Then, why chase us? Why threaten him?" Lucas's expression hardened. "Because if I didn't test you, I couldn't be sure you were ready. Camille's enemies aren't just watching, they're still out there. You had to prove you would fight to protect him." Maya's heart pounded, but she straightened, determination flooding her. "Then I fight. We fight. Ethan is safe. And no one, not you, not them, will take him from me." Lucas paused. Then slowly nodded. "I believe you. The diary has the final clue. It's here, inside this mill." He stepped aside, revealing a hidden trapdoor beneath a loose floorboard. Maya knelt, trembling, and opened it. Inside was a small wooden box, weathered and locked. Jordan carefully opened it, and inside lay Camille's final journal, plus stacks of papers detailing everything, the identities of the enemies, the truth about the forged birth records, and the secret behind Ethan's survival. Maya held